women out of the workforce.
Surround yourself with smart, talented people. Well, you ain't seen nothing, my friend, until you have a flame coming out of your butthole, and you need an asbestos diaper to be able to keep that flame from burning a hole in your pants.
My wife had my weed in her purse, and the mother cop took it. It was only like 4 grams, but it was really good weed.
Yeah, man, you just an unlucky dude.
Don't hate on prostitution, because guess what? It's been going on since before humans, man, and you don't even know about it.
Now I'm gonna wrap it up.
I quit this bitch.
On a big station. Rock 1069.
Bye.
We need to put women back in the kitchen.
Have a great Friday, you motherfucker.
Welcome to Friday morning on the Sansbury Show on Rock 1069. We are online at WRQK.com. If you missed that interview with WWE superstar Johnny Gargano, who will be at SummerSlam August 3rd at Cleveland Brown Stadium, that is in the podcast yesterday. We also posted that as a solo item for you yesterday at WRQK.com if you wanted to grab just that and avoid the rest of me. I can understand that. I don't know if you've noticed, but occasionally I have a tendency to be a little obnoxious. And kind of feel like I'm right about everything, get a little loudmouth, maybe even yell a little bit. Yeah, not everybody's cup of tea, me there, so if you just want the WWE superstar, we posted that as a solo item. I am reachable on the text line at 330-450-7625. There's the microphone talkback button on iHeartRadio, an easy way to reach out to the program as well. And on your socials at The Stansberry Show. We'll be passing out your first Rock the Bank $1,000 keyword, that at 9 a.m. this morning. We'll also go around Major League Baseball and take a look at the average price of a hot dog in baseball stadiums. Some of this pricing now, you got to remember California and New York, things can get a little pricier there. When I saw the average price of a hot dog, we obviously have the Guardian. We have all the Major League Baseball stadiums prices. So we'll give you what the guards are charging. When it stacked up, if you would have just told me this is what the guards are charging for a dog, I'd be like, geez, dude, for a hot dog seems like a little bit. But then when you stack it next to the rest of the league, it's like, oh, all right. it's maybe not so bad there. This will probably get us back into the Costco dog, as I have recently been turned into a Costco fan. We hadn't had one for a while. They opened it. I waited a little while until like the hysteria would die down. And then I got my card. And so once I did that, I got a little addicted to the food court. I did. I got a little addicted to it. As a matter of fact, all right, so I went in there and I was like, all right, I need to try the pizza, the chicken, bacon, the hot dog. So I went a couple of days in a row. I was like, I'll try all these things, right? And so I was like, man, I kind of like this hot dog. And I thought the pizza was pretty good. So it was last week, I was working here late and I was hungry and I was like, you know what, I'm going to the Cove. Let's head to the Cove, right? And so I was like, all right, I'm going. And I was sitting there, I was minding my own business, and I had a piece of cheese pizza and I had the hot dog. And I believe his name was Justin, who works at Costco, was like walking through this, and then he saw me sitting there. He goes, yo, man, he goes, I know you got those raw onions to put on that hot dog. He's like, let me give you a pro move as a guy who works here, okay? It's like, you take some of those raw onion and put it on that cheese pizza. And I've had onions on pizza before, but I was like, okay. And I was like, so I did it, folded up, ate it. I was like, I gotta tell you, I think I'm putting raw onions on my Costco pizza from here on out. Justin, who works at that place, man, he had that on lock. But as we're talking baseball stadium pricing on some hot dogs, my guess is we'll get back into the Costco dog, because we're going to talk about loss leaders a lot. Because if retailers can do this, so can baseball stadiums. We'll get to that coming up 9 a.m. this morning. Probably going to talk sports a little bit. I know not everybody loves when I do that. I apologize, but the Cavaliers did exactly what most people, myself included, said they needed to do last night. I said, you need to keep Boston under 100 if you can. It's going to be tough. They got shooters all over the place. Celtics scored 94. I said, you're going to have to get into triple digits, I think, to beat them on their home floor. Cavs scored 118. They had Celtic fans walking out of the arena with 5 minutes left to go in the game. Nobody thought this could be a series. I'm not saying the Cavs are coming back and winning the series. I think if you push this to 6 games, that's a job well done. Even 5, I'm like, all right, you avoided the sweep. Out of the first round of the playoffs, you're in the second round, you avoided a sweep in the second round. Love it. You know what I mean? I kind of love that. It's house money now, I kind of feel, with the Cavs. Beyond that, everybody's been begging, myself included. I talked about it all day yesterday. Evan Mobley, can you please find a little bit of an offensive game? And early on in that first quarter, it was like, oh my God, dude, this kid he's afraid to play. He's afraid to shoot the ball. He's afraid. I mean, he was 2 feet from the basket, dishing it back out. He just looked afraid. It's like they're playing too timid, and they were still in it. I was like, dude, they're playing like crap. They're playing timid, and they're still in this game. That's a good sign. And then somewhere in that first quarter, Mobley got a little bit of confidence. I don't know where it came from. I don't know who he got it from. I don't know what it is. Just thank God he found it. Went out for 21 last night. Donovan Mitchell gives you 29. We could look for a little bit more from Darius Garland, only with 14 points yesterday. He's going to have to materialize, again, if you're looking to push this 6-7 games. But I was hearing a lot about a sweep. I was hearing a lot about that. And next thing I know, I got Celtics fans walking out of the building with 5 minutes left to go. Let them know. Go Cavs. Absolutely loving that. So you get a split in Boston. I don't know how that's bad. that feels very, very positive. Now, the Guards did lose to the White Sox yesterday on the road, 2-3. They'll play against 7:40 tonight. Cookie on the mound for the Guards. Also at 8 a.m., we'll take a look at 25% of Gen Z and millennials say they have never done this, and normally we eye roll the younger generation. But you and I are starting not to do this anymore either, so they may be early on something that I think we're all giving up. So we'll talk about that a little bit coming up. Also, it's Friday. This is when a lot of you will head out, try to find the better half, hook up, if you will. A list of women have given us what they have found when they go home to a man's place, what they notice, what you think they won't notice, that they definitely saw. We'll get to that coming up at 7 o'clock. I'm sorry, that will be 7 o'clock. Also, Charles Barkley says New York City is overrated. So we'll take a look at cities, locations you and I have all been, we've all been, and whether or not they're overrated, what's overrated inside those cities. We'll have a little overrated, underrated conversation about the country. You can weigh in by texting in at 330-450-7625. We'll get to that coming up around 7 o'clock as well through that conversation with Charles Barkley.
Here's what's next on the Stansbury Show.
I also have a drinking with Charles Barkley story. I'm going to tell you, that dude he's fun. That dude was a lot of fun. Next on the program, though, we're going to take engagement ring shopping and put that underneath the microscope. A woman says she may leave her husband over what he did with her engagement ring. We'll get to this here next on Rock 106.9.
Stansbury Show on Rock 106.9.
Start your weekend with a bonus $1,000. Rock the bank with me at 9 a.m. That way this weekend you can do whatever you want. We'll get you paid out. All right, I saw this the other day on Reddit. And I've always said, man, Reddit's quick, man. They get stuff kind of early. Things go viral there. The rest of the socials kind of pull from there, right? It's they used to call Reddit the front page of the internet. And it is kind of that, right? And there is a section of Reddit, there's like a thread in there where people ask, am I the a-hole, right? Like, am I the problem, essentially? We can call it that. And this woman is telling this story, and I believe this because of how expensive the product is. But she's now married, right? And the entire issue is about her engagement. Now, I'm willing to bet a good portion of you listening right now are married, or have been married, or maybe thinking about getting married sometime soon, right? It's just a very common thing we do. I have never officially proposed to somebody like that. I don't feel as if now in my life that will happen. We'll save whether or not that's sad for another day, because it's Friday and I don't feel like, losing myself. But a woman, again, went to Reddit looking to find out, whether or not she's the problem. Apparently, the husband has been making her pay back some of the money he spent on the engagement ring without telling her. He bought her an $8,000 2-carat diamond ring and proposed to her. Now, I've always been told this. Now, we were told this by the companies, but it's 3 months' salary for an engagement ring, right? That's what I've always been told. So this is $8,000, 2-carat diamond ring and he proposed. So then they get married. And then what happened after they got married? They merged finances. Now, it sounds like what they did is they each kept an account, merged some finances into an account. And I've said, look, I think going all in with somebody really sells the commitment. I could understand how it freaks people out. And so a 3-bank account system, I do think could make everybody happy. I got a little bit over here. You got a little bit over there. In here is the bulk of where we are all at. We all put money in here and then we pay out for our life from that. I could understand it. It does kind of feel like I might need an exit strategy, but I can understand people going, no, man, money, it's really important. I don't want to feel like I'm out there on my own. I could understand it, right? So she says they have been having some arguments lately, and he feels as if, now she's saying here the wedding ring, but it's the engagement ring, is a wedding expense that apparently they decided to pay for the wedding themselves, and so they kept it very minimal. She says here her wedding has no frills, and instead what they were looking to do was save up for a house instead. That's actually very, very smart. That's very smart. The huge 300-person wedding, like, look, if you got a big family, you got a big family, there's not much you can do about it. I do not have that big of a family. I just don't, right? But if you're inviting like 250 friends, like, and paying for them all to drink and eat and all that just so they can, pulling them away from a playoff game so they can watch you get married, like everybody, like, I know nobody wants to hear this. They're all sitting in the back of the room taking bets on whether or not you're going to make it. I know they're your friends, right? Not really. Not really. Ask people who have been married 40 years, how many people who were at their wedding they still talk to. It ain't that many. That's just how life works. It's literally just how it works. And so you're paying for everybody to get drunk, probably fight in the parking lot, talk trash about the caterer you hired. Oh my God, this is kind of tacky. We should have done this. Oh my God, she really should have done that. She's gonna wear that dress. She's wearing white. Really, does he not know? That's what's happening in the back of those rooms. You can say whatever you want, but that's what's going down. And so I actually look at people who are like, there's somewhere in between the courthouse and nobody loves us, so we're going there, and like 10,000 people at your wedding. There is an in-between zone, right? And saving money for the house, the thing that you're going to use every day while you're alive, spend money on that. So when people are like, I can't afford a house, it's like, well, did you afford a $35,000, $40,000 wedding? Because that was a day of your life, a house, you get to go there every day. Like that's, is it maybe our priorities are completely out of whack? But she's saying, look, we did this by design. We were looking to save as much money as possible. She now says that him asking and taking this money out of the joint account to pay back for the engagement ring is tacky. Quote, if I knew my husband was going to make me pay for the ring, I wouldn't have agreed to buy it. Well, wait, now I'm really confused. I think couples, you talk about the type of engagement ring that maybe we should be looking at. You don't actually take them shopping for the ring, have them pick out the engagement ring and then propose, right? I don't think when people propose, it's all that much of a shock, because I think ladies most of the time are like, any goddamn time now, dude, let's go. You wasted 4 years of my life and we're not any closer. Wait, maybe I should make it a little bit more personal. You wasted 6 years of my life and we're not any closer. And so like at the end of the day, I think people are just kind of tapping the water, like, dude, when are we doing this? So I don't think it's all that much of a shock when they do it. But the engagement ring, I was always under the impression I was kind of supposed to be doing that. Pick it up, I then propose to you, you're blown away by the fact that I did spend 3 months' salary on the ring, and then you agree to marry me because you're like, well, you must be doing all right. Right? And then I thought the wedding rings is when you started to do that together as a couple. So that's where I get really confused there. Also, if you're using the money from the joint account, he's not taking it from your personal account, you're taking it from the joint account, I don't really have a problem with that. If you're worried he's taking that money, that to me would sell me, you're not all in. You don't view this as a commitment because you're worried that money. If you were in it with me, if you were my partner, you would want, we got to get rid of this $8,000 debt we have hanging over our heads over this thing you had to go show your friends, right? If we're really in it together, and he's financing the ring, and most people are going to have to finance an $8,000 purchase. They just are, right? And so if that's what you're doing and you were looking to save money, then why aren't you looking to save money here? Yes, it is unconventional, and